Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Spot. So I wanted to make a real quick tip video talking about computers, and in particular your monitor and how it's set up to make it as easy to see and easy to use as possible. Now I don't know if you're like me, I spend a lot of time on this computer editing videos for The Blind Spots, editing photos, things like that in Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. And in fact here I am working on this school project for my daughter. It's a Star Wars themed video project that they're doing, and you can see we set up a green screen and she was playing a Jedi. It's gonna turn out pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. And in fact here I can give you guys a quick sneak peek. Yeah, so I think you can see it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. But whenever you're using your computer, especially if you have low vision, it's going to be most important to have everything set up as well as it can be. And mainly I'm talking about the monitor, having it calibrated, having the settings set to the optimal settings for you, and everybody's going to be different. So the first thing you need to know is that the manufacturer of your monitor or your LED TV, and like in my case, has it set up so it looks the best when it's in the showroom at the store. They crank up the backlight, they crank up the contrast, they crank up the vibrancy so that it catches your eye. Because if you think about it, their TV or their monitor is just one on a wall of other monitors, so they want to make it look as amazing as possible to really catch your eye, so you're like, oh, that one is much brighter than the others, or that one is much more vibrant colors than all the others. But the problem is when you get it home, you don't necessarily need those settings. So what you want to do when you bring it home is jump into the settings, play around with them, see what works best in the location you have your monitor, your TV, and just what works best for you, what works best for your eyes. Now there's several different ways we can test our monitor or our television. There's several different software you can purchase, but I'm pretty cheap. I'm gonna use one of these free things that's on YouTube here. Let me zoom in here. I'll put a link to this video. We can use this video to test our HD capabilities. This is a trailer for the Avatar movie, which is in 1080p full HD. So I'm gonna make this full screen just by double clicking it. Now before we start calibrating our monitor settings, I want to point out that most YouTube videos don't automatically play in their highest resolution. So someone might have uploaded the video in 1080p, but it automatically plays in a much lower resolution. So I've stopped the video here at a perfect example. You can see that there's text on the screen here, but it's very blurry, hard to see. We have this planet over here, and the details are fuzzy, not very clear at all. So what we want to do is come down to the very bottom right corner, and you want to click on the settings icon here. Then you want to click on quality. A list of all the different qualities that are available comes up, and you want to come up to the very top one, and in this case, like we said before, it's 1080p. Now let me zoom out so you can see when I click on it, you can see the difference. There you go. The video refreshes into the higher resolution. Now if we go up here, we can see that the text is much clearer. We go over to the planet here. The detail is much clearer and crisper, and just makes it easier to see. So that's the number one tip.
Pandora is one of many moons orbiting.
So unfortunately my screen capture software can't see my menu here, so I have to do it the old school way by pointing the camera at the screen here, and I apologize. Hopefully you guys will be able to see the changes that we make. First thing is you have different picture profiles, and usually somewhere on your remote there will be a dedicated button for picture profiles, or if you come into your menu here and you go into your display settings, it will have a section here for picture profiles. In my case, it's called picture mode. I have a dedicated button, so it makes it easy. But if you cycle through these, you can see which works best for you. And these are just presets. They're basically a starting point. Really, you want to find the one that looks best to you, and then you want to go in and kind of tweak things. Now, all of these look too washed out to me. It makes it really difficult to see detail. So I have just created one called User, which is one that you can customize completely, and that's the one that I use. So you have lots of different settings here: brightness, contrast, color, tint, sharpness, and then your settings may be different, but they'll always have something similar to these. And you can just go down here and there's little sliders. You can choose which ones you want. In my menu here, I have an advanced settings section, and in here I can change the aspect ratio. That's the size of the screen. So really you want to cycle through these and find which fits your screen the best. And then once again, you might have a dedicated button for aspect ratio, which I do on mine. So you can cycle through here and see which looks the best. See, that's of course way too big. It looks like this one is the one that fits my screen the best. Dynamic contrast. This one is good. I have mine turned on because, as I've said in the past, contrast is very important for people with low vision. I want these darks to be really dark. I want my highlights to be really highlight without clipping the highlights, and that means without completely blowing them out to where you can't see any detail. Now, this last section here is my HDMI mode. This TV has this. I've never seen it on another one, but I have it set to video. You see that I can set it to graphic, which fits my monitor a little bit better, but it washes everything out and I lose a lot of detail. So when I put it on video, everything here, in fact, we'll do this. This is graphic. Super washed out. The shadows are similar in color to the midtones, and the midtones are similar to color to the highlights. So it's very hard to see everything here. I also lose the ability to adjust some of these different settings. I can't adjust color anymore for some reason. When it's set to video, look at it now. Super dark. The midtones are somewhere in the middle of the highlights and the shadows. It's much easier to see. Contrast is much higher, and there's greater detail in the picture. So that's it, guys. It's just that easy to adjust your settings on your monitor or your TV to get the absolute best picture. But that's it for me, guys. I've got to get back to work. We have a deadline to get this done. So thank you very much for watching. This is Sam with The Blind Spot. I'll see you in the next video.